Play it again. This doesn't make any sense. The more I watch this, the less I understand. I mean, Zeta, rewind it to that last barrage of attacks. There, right there. That is definitely contact. Centre mass. You hit them, Zeta. And if your scans are correct, you hit them with enough force to crack concrete. I mean, even a glancing blow at that power would be enough to put an NFL linebacker in the ICU, let alone an ordinary human. And yet, not only were they completely unaffected, but they were back up on their feet seconds later. And not to mention the skid pattern they leave after they're hit. I mean, it's just bizarre. A human body isn't that dense. It's certainly nowhere near as dense as the ground. I mean, you would expect if a human was hit with something with that power, they would be sent flying through the air, bouncing off the ground, maybe slightly disturbing the soil as they roll at the very end of their momentum, but certainly not leaving impact lines like this. I mean, the abrasions in the soil are just... It's like someone's just rolled a steel drum across it. It's like a car has driven across it even. I don't understand how that could happen. I mean, even if Zeta was punching with a downward momentum, they would just spring back up again. The impact would be circular, it would be straight down and up, it wouldn't be dragged, certainly not this far. Zeta, are you sure that this is correct? This data is 100% correct?
Confirmed. All onboard sensors and scanners recorded data with 0.04% variance.
I mean, that just can't be. And I mean, but another thing, they didn't skid nearly far enough. They were back on their feet within seconds. It was almost like they were on their feet before they finished skidding. But a feat like that, slowing that much momentum that quickly, that's far out with the scope of a normal human, even an elite human. And it makes it even more difficult to determine their strength levels when someone didn't bother to record any data on how strong they are. Zeta?
Confirmed. Data gathering incomplete. Target failed to impact armor's sensors.
Oh, of course they didn't strike you. You're made of metal, you stupid machine. Honestly. The least you could have done would have been to grab them or push them or anything like that. Something that would determine if they are strong by how much resistance they offer. But no, of course, that's far too advanced for you. Just another one of my failed creations. Surrounded by ideas. But I can't deny it. The data speaks for itself. Shit. I can't believe it. And I can't believe they didn't tell me. I mean, this changes everything. Everything I thought they were. It was a lie. I have to talk to them. There must be an explanation for this.
Warning. Direct confrontation not advised.
Not advised? For what?
Target identified as superhero. Alias as...
Are you serious? It has taken me days of trawling through the mountain of incomplete circumstantial dribble that you call data just to come to the conclusion that the person I love is a complete stranger and not at all who I thought. And now you want me to believe that you know with any degree of certainty exactly who their identity is. No, I am going to speak to them. I'm going to get some answers. Some real answers. So if you could just stay here and stop trying to turn my life any more upside down than it already is, that would be very, very much appreciated.
Confirmed. You little fool.
What did you say? That almost sounded disapproving. But that would mean... No. No. What am I thinking? I must just be hearing things. I mean, a sentient AI. Even I'm not that good. No. No. One problem at a time, Mechanus. One problem at a time. I need coffee. We need to talk. I haven't seen you in a while. Haven't heard from you either. For a time, I thought you were ducking my calls. How are you? Good. Oh, yeah, I'm fine. Yeah. I suppose you know why I'm here. You couldn't run from it forever. We have to talk about what happened at the park. I've been playing it over and over again in my head, and it just doesn't add up. That thing, whatever it was, it hit you. I saw it hit you. And it did more than that. It should have done more than that. It could have killed you. It should have killed you. And here you are. Not a scratch. Oh, please don't insult my intelligence. Did you really think I wouldn't notice? That I wouldn't piece it together? Well, I'm sorry, darling, but apparently I'm not quite as dense as you seem to think I am. What am I saying? What I'm saying is that you're inhuman. Well, tell me I'm wrong. Go on, say something. That's what I thought. So you're inhuman. You have powers. Are you registered? All infants displaying powers are registered with the government at birth as an inhuman. Some who are lucky enough to develop powers later on in their childhood, they slip through the cracks, but the majority are registered. It's a criminal offence not to be. So I'll ask again. Are you a registered inhuman? No. I mean, I don't blame you. I mean, once you're registered, you're automatically assigned to a hero association. Trained from childhood to develop your powers, to become a hero. I need to ask. I need to ask one more time, and I need you to be honest with me if you want any chance of this, of us working through this. I need to know. Are you a registered inhuman? Are you a superhero? You're not. Okay. Okay, I believe you. Well, that's one hell of a revelation, hmm? I mean, you. Ordinary you. I mean, there's nothing ordinary about you. You were always super to me, but I mean, to find out that you have powers. Can't say I was expecting that. And well, not to bring dating etiquette into the equation, but normally baggage like that is something you disclose within the first few days, not the first few months. But yeah, no, I completely understand why you wouldn't register. You were lucky that you weren't registered at birth. Most people don't get a choice. If they're a baby, they can't say no. They can't make the choice. And if you're a kid, well, chances are you're being registered by your parents or by a teacher that's noticed you displaying powers in school. It's not a choice. And then the next thing you know, your life is decided for you. You're a hero from there onward. I've always detested that. The idea that the circumstances of your birth will determine what kind of life you can lead. To think of all the world-renowned chefs, musicians, doctors, scientists that were robbed of their chance to do real, tangible good, ripped from that life and just shoved into some tight spandex and sent out into the world as some gimmicky superhero. It's a bad joke. That's partially why I'm so bitter towards superheroes, to be honest. I've never really told anyone this, but well, I've seen what this system does to those children and to their families, and I'll never unsee it. Did I ever tell you that I had siblings? Well, I did. I had 2 brothers, Michael and Jason. I was the largely forgotten about middle child. That old cliché. Jason was the elder brother. Michael was the younger. I used to worship the ground that Jason walked on. He was a superhero in my eyes long before he started displaying powers. We were born 2 years apart, you see. He was 10, I was 8. He always used to fend off the bullies when they came snooping to see what I was doing. I spent a lot of time in the playground looking at bugs. I found the idea of different evolutionary styles fascinating. The idea of endo and exoskeletons and barbs and claws and pincers and shells. It was fascinating. And of course, fascinating for one person is weird for another, so being face down in the dirt with a magnifying glass always drew attention to myself. Jason He was so down to earth. The only person I've ever met that in one short conversation could convince a bully to stop what he was doing and apologise. He had a way with people, you know, a way with words. He was everything I wanted to be. And then he started developing powers on his 11th birthday. A bit of a late bloomer for power development, but an inhuman he was. He was registered that same week, after a teacher caught him bending the steel bars of the school gates to let a stray cat in so he could pet it. Super strength was his diagnosis. Having been classified as an A-tier power level candidate, he was unenrolled from our school and sent to a hero academy that same month. That same boy never came back. Of course, the family would occasionally get visits from the Great Ironside, the superhero identity that was thrust upon him after he graduated from the academy. But it wasn't the same. Something was different about him. Like deep down inside. Even watching him fight villains, he would just punch his way out of everything. Beat them into submission. There was no talking, there was no convincing. He wouldn't get them to apologise or change their ways. There was no Jason. Just Ironside. And Michael. He was my baby brother. He didn't even get a chance. He was 3. He was 3 when we realised that he could crawl extremely quickly. You know, sitting down in the living room, in the lounge, and then he'd wind up in the kitchen eating frosted flakes out of the cupboards. We never understood how he could do it. And then we remembered that we were judging him like any other 3-year-old. And we were in a world where perhaps he wasn't an ordinary 3-year-old. By this point, Jason was 15. I was 13, and we hadn't seen Jason for months. He would be away with the academy for 4 years at that point, coming home maybe 10 days a year. Sometimes not even that. We saw that, and we didn't want that for Michael, so we tried to hide it. You know, we tried to pretend that we didn't notice. We spent so many nights telling Michael why he had to lose the foot race at the school sports day, why he couldn't just run as fast as he wanted, why he had to miss the bus if he was late for it. He didn't understand. But he trusted me, you know, he trusted his big brother. That was all he had. Mum and Dad worked, and you know, they were frustrated, they were scared, so they were angry. He clung to me, you know, he was always by my side, always. And then one day, he got careless, he was caught speeding. If that's the correct term for it. Registered that same week. Shipped off that same month due to his power level. Fastest boy in the world, they called him. He never made time for us again, though. Always busy, always rushing. I don't blame my siblings for being who they are now, because they never got a choice or a chance to be anything else. It's this system, this register, these bloody hero associations. They take children and they just strip away every choice they could possibly make. At birth, it is decided what their life will be, and they don't get a say. They don't get to be what they want to be. They have to be what the world thinks they need to be. That's why I'm so anti-superhero. I think people should be able to make their own choice. I think that heroes should only be comprised of people who choose to be heroes at a proper age where they can make that decision, so their hearts are in it. And that so people can be who they want. Sorry, that was a lot. But I suppose I wanted to tell you this because I want you to know that your secret's safe with me. I won't tell anyone that you're inhuman. Not a soul. I swear it. And no matter what you choose to do with your life, you will always be my superhero. Right, well, I suppose I'd better get going. I've got a busy day tomorrow. A lot of work, you see. I've been, neglecting it, being so focused on the whole park thing. But, yeah, I'm gonna go, but I'll call you. Don't duck my calls this time, yeah? Alright. And hey, I really do love you. Thank you for telling me who you are.
Subject detected. Identity. Mechanist. Scanning. Vitals. Normal. Heart rate. Lowered. Status. Asleep. Foreign DNA detected on subject's lips. Scanning. DNA collected. Comparing with DNA from confrontation with Ultima. DNA match. Sharing a kiss with the enemy. How human.